Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome to today's product education session. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whatever part of the world you're watching from. My name is Queensley Ademola, and it is so exciting to be here today again to discuss another important topic on how best to use Edutams product. And today we are going to be discussing on Edutams Basic, and the topic is assessing midterm reports and utilizing online CBT on Edutams Portal. So I have so many amazing people that are also going to be facilitating alongside with me, and I have PM in the house. Hello, Akinde.
Hi, Queensley, and hi to everyone also joining us for this session.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome. So without wasting much of our time, we're going to be diving right into today's topic. And it's so amazing that, and let me say, it's so intriguing that most of us do not even know that, most of the users of Edutams Basic do not know that there is a part of the portal which you can access. You can print your students' midterm reports card. I know most of the time in education, the two major ways we assess and we evaluate our students are either formative assessment or summative assessment. But most of the time, we are used to we are used to using the summative assessment, which is usually at the end of the term, where you get the report card for the entire performance of a learner at the end of the term. But however, this doesn't help monitor the progress of the child, because if it is at the end of the term you get to know your child's or your student's performance, there would be no way for you to easily correct all of the errors that needs to be corrected, the teaching methods that need to be corrected, the learning materials also that needs to be assessed and seen to. So today, before we dive right in, I'm just going to tell our viewers that if you're watching us, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, engage with us by commenting in the comment box. We would always get to you, we'll take your questions, and we are going to respond to your questions. So, without wasting much of our time, we are going to be going straight into what we have for you today. And when we talk about our own product education, we always go to the practicals. We don't only give the theory, we also teach you the process. So today, when we talk about assessing midterm reports and utilizing online CBT on Edutams Portal, when we say the midterm results, it is looking in this format. It is looking like what you're seeing on the screen, like just like this. Can you see my screen, please? If you can see my screen, kindly notify me in the comment section. If you are yet to see my screen, kindly notify me, and if also you can see, kindly send me your best sticker in the comment section. I would really appreciate it, so we get to know we are both on the same page. Oh, thank you, Coyote. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So if you're seeing my screen, then you're going to be seeing something that looks like a report card, but not the extensive, the big one that we are used to seeing. But this is just an example of what we have on Edutams Portal that captures the midterm report card for students. And when we talk about midterm is usually held okay, normal term is usually seen as probably 12 weeks, 13 weeks, or 14 weeks, within that range. So usually midterm falls in between the either 6th week or 7th week. And so this report card is giving you the entire performance of each of the subject of each learner for the continuous assessment that has been done. And also it can be suited into what best suits your school. So this is a report card same year, which is the midterm report card. And also we have the CBT assessment, which everybody knows one way or the other, you're going to be using the CBT assessment. And CBT assessment on Edutams Portal makes life easier for you, for every teacher to easily conduct continuous assessment. And once you conduct this assessment, it is auto graded. The system automatically marks it for you, and your student gets the report card easily. Easily. So without wasting much of our time, also we are going to be going into what is the essence of midterm continuous assessment. When we say there is something, there has to be a reason, there has to be the need for it, there has to be a gap that the midterm is filling. So, what is the essence? What is the need for it? Now, midterm continuous assessment, it helps give feedback. There's something we call feedback system. So, if you need to know as a teacher, you need to know, okay, what I've been teaching, the learning materials I've been dishing out to my students, has it been forthcoming? Has there been positive learning outcome? The best way for you to get that is assessment, by conducting assessment. And midterm continuous assessment helps you get feedback on probably you need to adjust on your teaching methodology. Probably you need to up your learning materials, or you need to use different methods. So you get a feedback system. And also as a parent, you get feedback on, okay, my child is struggling, and my child needs help in one subject area or the other. Also, it helps motivation. It promotes motivation, because every student, once they know that, oh, we are going to be taking assessment at so time of the year, at so time of the week, they begin to try to engage to their learning materials to quickly learn more. And also, it helps learning enhancement at the same time. So we also helps in progress monitoring and the rest of it. We have progress monitoring. Schools can process continuous assessment reports, because you don't need to go through the long traditional method. All of this can be done on Edutams Portal. And also, the sweet part of all of this is the parents do not need to come to the school to get this continuous assessment report card, whereby the students might have played pranks when the teacher sent the report card through the students back home. The student might play pranks, but right now, from the phones of each of the parents, they can easily access their ward's continuous assessment and monitor the progress. Now, we have assessment methods. What are the assessment methods that we have on Edutams Portal? We have the online assessment, just like what I've shown you here. We have the online CBT. You can see in this online CBT, you can choose whatever means you want. Either you want to use a true or false option, you want to use A, B, C option, whatever means you want to use to measure your students' performance. You can use the online CBT assessment. And also the auto marking and results. When you talk about auto marking, the moment you're setting the question as a teacher, you've set the right answer. So automatically, once your students take the test, it automatically marks it and they get their result at a go. And also this, you get to see the result. And this is something like what we are discussing. So without wasting much of our time, I need us to get deeply into all of this I've been discussing, so we get to understand. So I'm going to be bringing on board Akinde Isiak. Akinde, please, can you help us shed more light on what we have?
Yeah, thank you very much, Quinsley. So I will just pick up from where you stopped. So, like she has rightly shared, once you're on Edutams Portal, you can automatically generate continuous assessment reports, and parents from their end will be able to assess this continuous assessment reports as well. So it's also very easier to use. So I would just like to share my screen now, first to take you through what are the key things you need to do as a school first to use the continuous assessment report for your school. So I would just like to share my screen now. Please let me know if my screen is up, so we're all on the same page. Please, if my screen is up, please let me know in the chat section. Please let me know if my screen is up again. So anyone in the chat section can also just help me indicate if it is up. So while we are waiting for my screen to come up, so like I've said earlier, or like Quinsley also said, before we use the assessment as a school in my school, before you use the continuous assessment report, there's one or two settings that you have to do as a school portal admin or the school SPA, right? So the key thing you just need to do is from your side menu, the results part, you go to the setup, right? So it takes you to this page, right? So and then from the result template, what you are just doing here is that ensuring that this button is put to enable CA report as yes. Ensure that it is on yes. So once you have activated this button to be yes, it means that you will be able to use the continuous assessment report for your school. And all that is need to be done is once teachers are ready, for example, once teachers are ready, teachers just need to upload their continuous assessment score, right? So for example, here, let's choose a class. So here, teachers just need to upload their continuous. I'm looking for a class with no scores here. Okay, so let's go to upload scores. So remember, the first thing again is that here I have, as a school SP, I've ensured that we are enabling school CA reports. Right, once that is done, and we know that currently we are in the period of CA. So once teachers are done with their CA, they just come to their upload results page here, upload score page. Then we come here, then now and again, now we even have multiple options of whether you want to impute the scores directly or you want to download. So you can click on impute score, then impute the CA scores. So as a teacher, each of the subject teacher just need to impute their CA scores. Once that is done, the system can automatically generate the continuous assessment reports for each student. Let me show us what that looks like. Okay, so for example, if I'm a parent, okay, let's come here now. So this is what it looks like for a parent. So if I'm a parent now, if I want to check my child and continuous assessment report, I just log in directly from my parent page. I will see the button of view CA report. Once I click the view CA report, I'm able to easily see the child continuous assessment report. I can even print it. If I click on print, that's if you want to do it as a whether from your own end you want to print it, it's also printable. So parents can directly from their page, they can check for their child continuous assessment report here, which is going to take them to the page here, or directly with you as a school administrator, or if you want to print the CA report for each of the child, right? So you can just from here and you say, for example, let's say this. All right, so that's just basically how to view a child how to make use of the Edutams portal to set the CA report. So it's very easy that way. So in this case, you don't necessarily have to wait to the end of the term when you are doing CA and exam. The moment you are done as a school, the moment you are done with your CA now, just ensure that you've enabled this setting to be yes, and your teachers can continue to just progress to uploading their CA. Once teachers are done uploading all their CA scores, the system would automatically generate the student report. If parents want to check their continuous assessment report, right, parents just need to log in from their page, like I said again, then they can print their child continuous assessment report. And that's just basically how to do that, right? So the next part, which Quinsley also mentioned the other time, is the quiz or assessment. And one other interesting thing that you also have on your Edutams portal is that you can do online assessment online, which is the CBT assessment question, right? To do that, to access that module, right, the side menu here, you will see the quiz option. Click on setup. If this is the first time that you are using the quiz assessment, just come to the setup point here. So what you are doing majorly here is that you're just setting up what the quiz should look like for your school. In this space where we have the quiz category, so you want to decide the kind of online assessment, CBT assessment that you want to do. Whether you want to define one as mock examination, assignment, midterm test, or end of the term examination. So you are just categorizing all of this, and you can also, these options, they are just the option that with the answers will display for the student. So you can leave out these options, but here, this category, you can decide to set it like you can name one with the midterm test. If I want to add one here, just click on the button here, this menu button. You can click on the add quiz category. What is the name? Say for example, I want to tag this as examination. Then you click the status to active, then you save it, right? So I'm going to show you where you're going to use each of these. So the key thing here is that you are just creating a category of CBT assessment that you have in your school. Once this is done, you can go to the quiz bank, right? So teachers, each of the subject teachers that you have, each of them will be able to use the CBT assessment to set questions for their student. And once that is done, you as the school portal admin as well would also be able to have access to the general thing that everybody is doing. So if I'm a teacher, for example, or let's say, for example, as the school portal admin, because that's the account I'm using, I can see all the quiz that has been set from here. This analytics here helps me to tell all the quiz that have been set, what is the total number of students that has participated, what is the average, and student can also rate. So you will see that in this category, say I want to check for a midterm test, assessment that we've done on midterm test now, you can see. So this is where you will see all of those categories. So for example, if a teacher and I want to set assessment, I want to create online assessment, I just need to come here, whether as a teacher or you as the school portal admin. So just click on the create new quiz. Once I click that, so I can now click on what's the title. So let's say midterm test now. Or biology test, for example. Let's say biology test. Then what's the category of student that you want to take the exam? So these are returning students, right? You always have that as returning students. Then what's the duration? So it allows your teachers to also set duration for the student to take the assessment. Let's say like 20 minutes. Just put the time, just the number there, right? Then applicable to. So you're also selecting who are the set of people that will be able to take this assessment. You also set that to returning. Returning is those are the current students that you have. The other options that you have here are the prospective. Prospective are if you want to use the online assessment for online admission for your school. That's when you use the prospective students. But because you are using it for students that you are using the returning students. So you can now select this quiz that I want to do. Who am I setting this quiz for? Which class? So this displays, once I select the returning student, it displays all the available classes. So if I'm setting for GSS1, for example, if I'm a teacher, what I'll be seeing here is only the class that I'm assigned. But because I'm the admin or the school portal admin, I'm seeing all the classes. So what if I'm a subject teacher, I'm only seeing the classes that I'm assigned, and also I'll only be able to assign to the subject that I'm assigned to as a teacher. Once I choose the category, then I select the class that I want to take the assessment. Say in this case, I'm setting the assessment for GSS1A, GSS1B. Once I'm done selecting it, I choose the closing date. So it also allows you to set closing date to when the assessment will close. So for example, maybe the closing date should be Friday. Once it is this closing date, the student will not be able to take the assessment again unless you come back and edit it to extend it, right? So, and I click the program, I just stick on the junior secondary school because that's the one I'm using, right? So there's another option here, enable quiz report. So this option is the moment the students are done taking the assessment, if I want them to see the report, right, I'll click on yes. If I don't want them to see the report, I'll click on no. So for example, if you are using this for midterm test, for example, you can just set it as no because you don't want the student to see their result. But if you are using it for assignment or general assessment, you can always enable it to yes. So whatever option you pick here, right, that's what the student would also get. So there's also this option of enable random question. So this option here is that, say for example, as a teacher, I just set 5 questions. If enable random question to yes, so the system, once the students are taking the assessment, it will be giving them the question at random. For example, my own number one now might be different from the other student number one. So it's going to randomize the question when the students are taking the assessment. So you can decide to set that to whether no or yes. Then once I'm done, I click on save. So what I've done here basically is just to create the quiz. Let's return this to. So what I have done here basically is just to create the quiz, right? You see, this is the quiz I've created here. So as a teacher, all the quiz that I create, I'm going to see them here, right? So the next step for me to now do is just to now proceed to creating the quiz question. So for assessment now, you first need to first create the quiz. Once you are done creating the quiz, that's when you now proceed to setting the questions. So you can see that this is the quiz that I just created. No questions yet. And so if I want to now, and it's not set to live yet, you see this button here. So if I now want to create the questions for that quiz, by the menu box beside that quiz that I've created, just click on it. You see manage question. This edit quiz on the other hand is, it takes me back to this page. Maybe I want to extend the closing period, maybe to another date. I want to do any other edit, so I can do that here. But if I want to proceed to setting the questions, I can just click on manage question. So this is where I will be able to set my quiz question. Once I'm here, I just click on the new question here, right? So this allows me to set my question. In setting my question, there are multiple options. There are different options as to what the options will look like. If I want the answers to be in multiple choice, if I want it to be in multiple choice lists, multiple choice styles means that it's going to put them in a box, like it makes it very presentable. Multiple choice list is going to list the options for the students. If the question I want to give, whether it's a true or false, I select the true or false, right? So if I want it to be in shapes, if I want the options to be in shape, I select shapes. Let me show you what that looks like. So you put the options in shape for the student. Say for example, this time around we want to just do true or false question. So I set, what is this question that I want to set? How many mark should I allocate for this question? See, if I want to allocate 5 questions, that this question should be 5 mark. So if I want to now type my question, I just click inside this box. This is the edit box where I'm going to be able to type my question. So I said the flag of Nigeria. Let's just put up a question. The sum of 5 and 6 is 11, right? So this is my question. In this question, these are the options that I can highlight it and I can bold it. If I also like, I can also include image. If I want to include image, you see the option here. Once I click on this option here, I'll be able to include image. Say for example here, I'll just click on choose file. So I can now select if I'm including any image in this place. So the quiz allows you to include any image that you want to. Once I input the questions here, if I now want to include the answers, the options, you can see, because here I chose true or false as the kind of options that I want. So that's why here I'm having a true or false option. If I've chosen a multiple choice list here, I'm not going to be having true or false as my option. So whatever option I've selected, if I want to choose the right answer, because once you are setting the quiz, once you're setting the question, you also need to set the answer so that once the students are taking the quiz, the system can automatically mark. So if I want to choose the answer for this one now, if it is false, I just click on false here. So whichever one that the system ticks green, it means that that's the one that you have indicated that that is the answer to that question. Don't worry, when the students are taking the quiz, they won't see the green or the X sign or the red sign. They will just only be seeing the option. This one is just there for you to notify the system that this is the right option. So when the student takes it, the system can automatically mark. Once I've selected what is the right answer there, I just click on submit. Right, you see that one I've created that number 1 question. If I want to input the next question, I click on new question. So let's just quickly do this. Say for example, this should be we'll put this question to 2. So let's put this question to, who is the president of Nigeria? For example, who is the president of Nigeria? Right, so once that is there, option A, we can see Bola Tinubu. Option B, we can see Muhammadu Buhari. Option C, we can see Jagaban. Just give no precedent, none, right? So I have included, so each of the options that I put here, I can even bold them. Like this one now, if I want to bold it, I just highlight it, I click on bold, right? So I can also bold the options that are also there. Once you click on it, you see the edit button. It allows you to edit the options based on how you want it, right? So once that is there, so whichever one I want to make the answer, if Jagaban is my answer here, I just click on the box. So you can see that's already indicated that the green time means that this is the answer. But if this is my answer, I select that this is my answer, so that when the students are taking the question, the system can automatically mark. Once I'm done setting this question, I click on submit. If you also notice, there's no need for me to put number one, number two. Just input your question. The system will number it automatically by itself. Once that is done, I click on submit. Right. So you see that here now I now have two questions. This is question one, this is question two. Here, I can still make any edit by clicking on this edit button. So I'm going to set all my questions like this. Once I'm done setting all my question, I click on done. Right? So now in this case, I have created the quiz. I've seen the quiz I created. I've set my questions there. You see that here now, it has now updated. I have two questions. Right now, once I've set the quiz, the question, the quiz is not live yet until when I decide as a teacher I want the student to take the quiz. So what this means is that I can set my quiz question ahead and decide not to set it to live yet. So once I want the student to take it, that's when I'm going to set it to live. And if you want to set the quiz to live, you just click on the option here. You see the option, say for example, this one that has 7 questions, you see the option of set quiz to live. So once I click on set quiz to live, that is when the student will be able to see it on their own page. Right. Once I have not set the quiz to live, it means that I don't want the student to take it yet, but I'm just setting the question. I don't want them to take it yet. But the moment I set it to live, that is when the student will be able to take the quiz that I have set or the CBT assessment that I have set. And the moment I set it to live, you see more options like view or print report. So as students are taking the quiz assessment, this is where this view or print report, this is where you'll be able to see their scores or their mark, right? If we click it now, it's not going to share anything because the students have not taken the quiz yet, right? So, but once the students start taking the quiz, you see the breakdown here as to the students that are taking the quiz, what is the quiz score, what is the student score, and what is the time, and what date did the student take the quiz. And you can also even export it to Excel, or you can print it as well, depending on how you want it, right? So that is just basically steps on how to create assessment. Once that is done, the student on their own can log in and take their assessments, right? So again, in making use of the quiz, if this is your first time, you have to ensure that in the setup you have create the categorization there. Once that is done, whether I'm a teacher, whether I'm the SP, I just need to come to quiz bank. Once I'm there, I can click on create quiz, create the quiz. Then once that is done, I can now set the questions. So the student on their own end would do that as a sample and see how the student will be able to take the CBT assessment, right? So if student want to take assessment, let's just do an example. Let's do an example for this. If you have questions, please drop questions, or maybe if there are questions, I might just pause and take questions, or we just keep sending the questions and we take the questions once we are done. So if students want to take the quiz, for example, now I'm logged in as a student. So on the student side menu, you will see the quiz option here, and I will see my quiz, right? So from the student end, here now, I will see the available quiz that are there, right? So for this student now, there is no quiz yet, but if there are quiz, the student will be able to take the quiz. Let's do a practical example. Let me edit this quiz for that class. So once again, if you have any question, just ensure to drop your question in the comment section. I would be able to pick them, and we are going to just pick the questions one after the other. So let me go back to that page. So if students want to take the quiz now, they will come to my quiz here, then they'll be able to see the available quiz, then they can click on it and take the quiz as well. So that's just basically how the student will be able to take the quiz. And you as a school portal admin, you would also be able to see all the quiz that have been created here. You'll be able to monitor them. And if you want to see the quiz report for any of the, whether as a teacher, students have taken my quiz now, you see that here is also showing the participation of how many students have taken the quiz yet. For this quiz now, it's saying one student has participated, four students are yet to participate. So you can see, then you can, if you now want to view the quiz report, come here, then you see the view or print quiz report. Once you click here, you'll be able to see um, the breakdown of the students that have taken the assessment. And if you're deciding that you want to export it, like I showed you before, you can export it to an Excel sheet, and you can use it as you want. So that is how basically how to make use of the assessment question. So I think now maybe we can take questions. One interesting thing that we've also done is that we now have a documentation that has also break this thing down step by step, how teachers can set assessment, how you can check the assessment, how students can also take the assessment. So you'll be able to also see this in all of the guides that we have also prepared. So I don't know, Quincy. I think we can go through the question one after the other. All right. So okay, I was just okay. Good, good, good. I think that's
All right, thank you very much, Isaac. So also in the house we have oh, we lost him. Yes. We wanted, okay, so we can as well take the questions. So from Mr. Fagbon Musa, we have okay. Please, any option for bulk upload of questions that has been typed and saved in MS Word instead of single method.
Yeah, right. I think one for now we don't have that option of bulk upload. You have to type the questions one after the other. At the beginning, we made that provision, but it was not fully utilized. So we wanted to refine that method before even deciding to bring it or not. So for now, we only have the options we have is just for teachers to input the questions one after the other. That allows the system to be able to take these questions and automatically mark them appropriately, right? But like I said again, one thing that we are also very interested in is to see how we can seek your feedback and how we can continue to improve on what we have to ensure that we are making provisions for all of these things. So this is an option that tech team are currently exploring to see the possibility whether we'll be able to still make provision for doing the bulk upload of questions like you have suggested. And once we are able to have a very good head around that, that's an option that we'll make available, and we'll communicate that to all of our schools as well. But for now, the options that we have is just a single upload.
All right. So we would be hoping we can get more questions. And also while we are waiting for our customer support and executive manager to join in. So we'll be waiting for more questions. Please, if you have questions, kindly tune them in. And Mr. Fagbon Musa, if you feel you still need to ask more questions or more clarification, please kindly chat us in the comment section. We're ready to take your questions. So, and by the way, on that note, Mr. Kinden, do you think there is any other thing you need to let our viewers know?
Yeah, definitely right. So I think you mentioned some of it at the beginning of the session, right? Is we know that this is a period when most of our schools are we are in the midterm period. Maybe by next week, schools will be going on midterm, right? These are also some of the innovations. Once you're on Edutams Portal, at least I know that you should be able to use the continuous assessment report. So if these are part of the innovations that you are introducing, as a parent, I just see that my child comes home with the CA report. Those are innovations that helps to show that your school is progressing. Or you just send your parent bulk SMS that they can check their child continuous assessment report or directly from the portal. So you can explore that option. It's very easy to use. Again, like I showed you, the SPA or as admin, you just need to ensure that you have enabled the CA report, ensure that the button is enabled. Once that is done, once the teachers are done marking their continuous assessment report scores, they can just upload it directly. Then the system would. One interesting thing I also forget to mention is that, let me share my screen. It's the system. How do I put the English now? Format the continuous assessment report in your school. So it comes with your school logo, your school address, your school contact number. It comes exactly like that is formatted to suit your school, right? So it is easier, and there should be no headaches in that aspect. So yes, so it's just a method for schools to they are just letting you know that those are the options that you can, starting with the continuous assessment report that is there for you to use. And if you also want to decide to, that's, I know that using the CBT option depends on the kind of module or the kind of plan that you're subscribed to, right? So if you're not subscribed to, you're also getting to know that Edutams allows you to do CBT assessment. So this is also an opportunity for you to even upgrade, look at other options of upgrading your plan, so you can also have access to using the CBT options that we have as well. So I think that that's it majorly for me. And like we also have some of us in the community WhatsApp group that we've also created. Our customer support team will continue to share documentation or guides that can guide you on how you can do all of, just like a follow up to all of this. And if you have any further question that we will not be able to answer here, or we're unable to answer here, just always reach out to our customer support team. We will always be there to respond to any of your inquiries. I think there's a question.
So
Yeah.
we have our customer support. Thank you very much, Akindeyin. We have our customer support executive manager in the building, person of Mr. Adegboyega Tayo. Mr. Tayo, you're welcome. Good afternoon, sir. Hello, Mr. Tayo. Are you there, sir? Can you hear us, sir?
I think he probably is having issues with his network, so we can just go ahead.
Okay, so while Mr. Tayo is trying to sort that, Mr. Fagbon Musa is okay, still raised another question.
I might just take that,
No, good
right?
afternoon,
Yes, of
everyone.
course, Mr. Fagun, we do understand that.
Okay,
Uh, we understand that process might be a bit bulky. Again, uh, our technical team has taken that feedback, and we'll see how we can make that provisions available, and to see how to make that. One major thing that we are very particularly about is to ensure that we are providing smooth and easy experience, and just ensure that it is easy to use for anybody. So we will continue to explore that part, and then once we have that feature available, our major concern is just that whenever we are launching, it is easier and it's not disrupting anything, right? So once we have it, we're going to push it forward, and we would also communicate appropriately to you. Thank you.
okay, Mr. Tayo, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, thank
Are
you,
you?
Kingsley.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. So,
Good afternoon.
okay. So, Mr. Tayo, we would just like you to just in a few minutes, um, if there are any information, because we understand that we will soon start. Every school will soon start their midterm exams, and they will go on their midterm break. What other thing, we've discussed quite a lot of things. What other few things do you think every school should note at this critical time, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think one of the things that schools admin needs to know is that they also need to set their holidays so that this will also reflect in the results during the attendance. So there was a place where we can set the holiday. So we also be releasing guidelines, just like we shared in the first Edutams Connect session, where you can set the holiday and it should not affect the attendance of the learner in the school, even on the results. That is one. And also there are different ways in which the different options in which they can upload their results, either by bulk or direct input or single. So we have different ways based on our customer feedback. So we are improvised on that. We have also implemented that on the platform. So whichever one the school desire to use, so that can also be used. And also another thing that is very critical is we want to make sure that every schools that come in contact with Edutams also have value for their money. So just like PDM have said, so if you have any issue, and our customer support team have been very responsive. So if you have any issues, you just kindly just message either through the WhatsApp, through the medium, any medium that you have been communicating with us. We gladly respond to that.
Oh, thank you very much
Hello.
for that input. Hello, I'm with you, sir. Thank you very much for that important announcement. So, without wasting much of our time, please, I would just like to tell every of our viewers, please like and share and also subscribe to this YouTube channel so you get updated when we have important contents for you. So please just subscribe to our YouTube channel and like also so you get, and also click the notification bell so you get updated when we have important educational content to drop for you. So also, if you have any questions, we have Edutams Connect community. Kindly click on it. Kindly follow through and you get updated. So without wasting much of our time, we would have to say call it a day and call it a wrap. So thank you very much for joining in. Till we come your way next session. From Edutams, we say thank you for joining. Thank you for always always responding and also being our customer. So please do take care of yourself and
Hold on.
enjoy the rest of your day.
Before we go, I don't know if it's possible for us to share the link to our documentation platform so that anybody here would also be able to do that. So before we end this meeting, I would like to really do that. I'm just trying to get that on board, and so that if you have any questions, you can always just. I don't know if Mr. Tayo could help us share that on the chat section if that's what you have.
Okay, let me do that. Let me just quickly
Yeah,
see.
so that anyone here could just always speak it from there, and you can even ask for it in the, or would also further share it in the community section that would also have. So all of the processes that have been documented, so you can always have access to them from there, and we are open to be able to better improve. Okay. I think our tech team can help us put it on the chat section so that everyone can have access to it. If you're having any question, to also even tell you some of the new innovations that we are coming up with. Currently, we are hoping that before the end of this time, if possible, we are working on a chatbot that, if you have any question, you can interact with the chatbot, and that one can quickly help you respond to some of your questions or some of your inquiries that you have. This is just to tell you that on daily basis, we keep innovating to see how we can respond to your needs or how we can serve you better on daily basis. So those are some of the updates that you should also expect coming from us. Also, I don't know if I should say this, but since you're also a part of the community as well, this is also a project that we're also working on for schools on Edutams Portal. You would also be able to have access to lesson notes across all the classes in across all major subjects. So this is something that we also have as an interesting feature that we have coming up. And it's also interesting that for all the schools on Edutams Portal that you're a subscriber, you would also be able to access this once it is launched. So we will communicate all of these important features that we have with you we'll communicate that across emails or on our Connect, Edutams Connect platform, so that we'll ensure to keep you updated as we go. So that is it from my end. And thank you so much today for joining. And like
And
Winsley said, this is a monthly session. If you are unable to answer any questions today, just know that in the next couple of weeks, we'll also have another session. So you might just want to keep tab and note that we'll be having this engagement, ensuring that we are just educating you more around how the product works, all the new features that we have, so that we ensure that you're having a good experience using the product. I think the Mr. Tai wants to say something or
yes,
a remark. Yeah.
yeah, for schools in Ogun State that has been asking question on how to make a request for their link, we'll be
Okay.
we'll try much as possible to make it available this week, and we communicate that even through the Edutams Connect platform,
Awesome.
so
Awesome.
that
Thank
that
you
can
so.
be make their work easier.
Yeah, yeah. So that you heard it from the horse's mouth for some of all schools that we are, we state. So you can be rest assured that that of the lean update will be shared this week, and we can all get ahead with that. So thank you very much, Quincy. I don't know. Hope we have not exceeded our time for today's session.
Yeah, that is fine, Akindeni. So, once again, from our hand to our customers and our prospective customers, we would say thank you. And also a special appreciation to all of the teams behind the scene and Titilayo, Lekon, Sheung, Okoyemi. Thank you so much for being behind the scene and making everything go smoothly. So we'll say, please do take care of yourself and enjoy your day.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.